Ta-da! Welcome to the Sunday stream. I am Raven, and this is Khrysalis Studios. You are inside where the magic happens. And this is my manager. Nash is having breakfast out of his little puzzle feeder because it's good to keep the brain going, especially for ridiculously smart dogs. And he happens to be one of those. So wherever you're joining from, happy Sunday, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. We have Lizzie in the chat. Hi, Lizzie. Good afternoon. Brenda, good morning. So today I'll have the reveal for, well, I've already done the reveal of what the Medallion Club medallion was and is for this last box, but I will also be showing you in 3D, and I might have a started to be painted sample because I can't help myself and it needed to be painted. So yeah, that's the thing. We have Kimberly. Hi, good morning. Amy, good morning. So I'll show you that. I'll show you the swag stuff that came with it. I will go over what Breyer's shown in the last week, which includes a piece that has relation to me, which is kind of cool. And I'm very excited about that. And we'll see what else we get to. So it should be fun. In this week's craziness, what did we have? There was a whole bunch of Breyerfest releases. They did 3 pieces this week. I still don't have my club stablemates from December 9th. I think I might have ordered them. And I can't find tracking. I have no idea how to track them. And so we'll see if it shows up at all. But when they get here, I'll show you Augustus and the International Club box that I get. It has the last 3 releases plus the extra bonus Hadley in full. And I ordered a Zulu and a couple of pins. But we'll see when it gets here. I don't think any of the Canadian orders from anywhere in that time period have arrived, and lots of them are coming with customs because of them trying to work around the border issues. So yay, Canada Post. And Purolator, I guess, because Purolator pooped the bed at the same time Canada Post did, because they're owned by the same company. Yay. Breyer does have their, let's see if I can make this do a thing. Breyer does have their new releases up on the website for back order. So they don't actually have them in stock yet, but you can place an order for when they arrive. I'm assuming they're on a ship somewhere coming, but we will find out. They have the 3 75th anniversary horses with the patterns, with their silhouettes of the different molds. Big Lex, Cloud, AQHA, Best Bermuda horse, Surfer's Riptide, which I still need to order. I got to figure out a way to get around the shipping straight from Breyer thing, I think. I might have to try and find one locally. So I might have to wait a little longer. Ideal Stock Horse, Buckskin, Texas Longhorn Bull, some new dolls, the cool stablemates, and Radiance, which is kind of funny because I'm reading my Brandon Sanderson book right now. And out of the 60 some odd hours that the whole audiobook is, I'm on to the last 7 hours of it. And so there's the words of Radiance, and they are Radiance, the knights. So to see the horse named Radiance is kind of funny in my brain right now. So yeah, they also have some new little, I can't remember what they're called. Why can't I remember what they're called? I should know this. anyway, they have their kid ponies. There's a name for them, and I can't remember what it is. They also have grab bags that people are buying. So there's a peppermint grab bag, there's a apple grab bag, and there's a carrot grab bag. People have started to post on Facebook what is in these. I'll see if I can pull it up and find stuff. My brain's like almost remembering the name of the pony things. But we'll find out in a second. Apple grab bag. Let's see if we can see what's in it. Totally spoiling it. There we go. So this might not necessarily be 100% what's in all of them, but it would be reasonably close. So Native Son Morgan Quest. I can't remember what the name of the Chicolina is. It looks like a matte Josie. The POA on the Nicholas mold, a little mini Winnie's guy, ATP Power, Love and Hope, and then the Christmas Fjord thing, which seems to be in all of them, if I have seen correctly. They must not have sold a lot of the little fjords, but so it was apple and then peppermint. Oh, I can't type today. Peppermint grab bag. People are asking. Peppermint grab bag right here. So this one has Monta Mara from, it looks like a Breyerfest a couple years back. Matte Mark of Charm. That was the little Sharif guy. Twist, but I can't remember. It was from Breyerfest a couple years back as well. Maybe the same one as, I think they were both from the German Breyerfest, those two. The little classic unicorn, Spectre, Catch Me, Marcia Bay, and then the unicorn playset there. So that is the peppermint grab bag. And then let's see if somebody has the carrot one. So they might not all be 100% alike, but they would be reasonably similar, I think, with maybe a few substitutions. And that was peppermint. And then anybody get carrot? I'm not seeing anybody with carrot yet. Let's see if there's any in the comments. Just digging. Apple. Carrot. Okay, so somebody in the comments over here is saying, Patricia Henry, got the carrot grab bag, got Vivaldi di Basilu, chocolate, gilded, BF Reverence, Wild and Free, Ceres and Minerva, Web Specials, Cole, Breyerfest Torlini, Barn Surprise Mini Winnie. She's saying, I must say these grab bags are well worth the price, whether you need them for your collection or you opt to resell, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, that's kind of what the gist of those are. What was the pricing on those? It's not gonna let me. They are $199 each, and it looks like they have their retail price. So a lot of people are going for the Apple one because the Apple one has the higher value. It's showing as $423.94, and then the carrot and the other one is $396.94. So you've seen what's in them. If you like what's in them, or you would like to try and resell what's in them, then you know what is there. Ooh. These Mini Winnies look like they're new. So this is Mini Winnie's Castle Surprise. They're in some new colors, which is kind of cute. And then these guys should be new too. This is Mini Winnie's Mini Barn Surprise Series 2. The little roan's quite cute. There's some cute molds in there. The Wixom, you get the little warm blood there. I'm so bad with mold names. When you don't use them all the time for like referencing things, your brain's just like, yeah, no. And then the stablemates we talked about before. So that's our first Brio in regular run. And I think that's the first regular run Hadley. And then, well, there was the Mare and Full set that they came out with. So we've got a couple of these, but I think for Brio and for this guy, the little Fjord, though, that's the first time we've seen them regular run-ish coming out. And then a couple of new popular molds. So this is probably going to be a pretty popular set overall, which would be nice. So, Amy's saying we need 5 million copies of the Clearware Radiance. Yes, I think it'll be really fun. And then they need to re-release Malik in the same color because then they would match. Oh, Brenda's saying we use lots of different toys to put his dinner in as he eats it way too fast. Yeah, Nash he eats pretty quick. So I have different puzzle feeders. I'll freeze some of his food, put it in Kongs. He's got different ways to access it. And I'm always trying to switch it up. He really likes learning the break command. So when they're doing a task, you want them to be focused and then you tell them break and then they're able to do that as a reward. And he really likes when I do a break, but particularly when I do food and then throw it and then he's going to go find the pieces. So, because he's still technically learning it. He doesn't do break quite as a reward in itself just yet. So it'll be kind of cool. We're going to do some fun stuff, I think. We have Tommy. What? Hitting things. Hi, Tommy. How's it going? Good morning. I don't think anyone got carrot. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a very popular box bag. And I think most people got the one, like I said, because of the value, but it doesn't make sense that, well, maybe you just don't like carrots. You want peppermints and apples. It sounds way better. I don't know. Let's see. No idea who any of those were. Yeah, so naming the names is hard because you don't remember what it is, but you can always look them up. I could have looked them up individually beforehand, but I did not prepare in advance because I thought that there would be a picture, but there isn't. Amy says we'll need 5 million copies of the Malik in that Clearware too. So there was High Tide. He was Clearware on the Malik mold. So if you can get a hold of some of those, because I know some of those had goobers, that would be a possibility. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting year, I think, for Breyer with all the different club releases and they have lots of good stuff in the regular run line this year. Breyerfest is probably going to be pretty busy. Let's get into that since we're there. So on Monday, we should see a new release because last Monday we saw this one. So this was their special run. This is available to everybody who has tickets that have special runs in it. It's kind of cool to see the history kind of the back end of things here. They're talking about how the first sculptures were groundbreaking, iconic molds. Chris Hess was their master mold maker and sculptor, which is kind of cool. So a lot of things like Bridie and my little Giorgio are all sculpted by Chris Hess. They also did the semi-rearing Mustang, Fighting Stallion, Misty Stormy, Western Horse. Since then, Breyer's been privileged to work with other equine artists such as Kathleen Moody, Susan Carlton-Sifton, Bridget Abril, and more. This kind of shows some of when they had their mold making stuff in the USA, which is kind of cool. It's really neat to see this history. I think that's a cool thing for them to be including, especially for their 75th anniversary. And then now they're saying that there's more extreme levels of accuracy down to muscling, other biomechanical nuances. That's in part thanks to technology and skills. So they are pretty cutting edge for their mold making. You can't quite get the same translation as using silicone, but because of the way that they mass produce things using these steel molds or metal molds, I think they're steel, but don't quote me on that, metal molds, all the tooling that they use has to come together in pieces. And it kind of, if you've ever seen a picture of how that works, they have these big chunks of metal mold and kind of like a ceramic mold, how they have to come apart and they can't have any undercuts. That is very applicable to plastic. And so they're trying to think of how to put it together. And then when they're molding it, it has to have strength to it. Sometimes they have little connectors that pop into the other side of the horse. So it's quite the business. It takes a pretty crazy amount of skill to be able to make these molds and produce the level of detail that Breyer gets. And I think that that is pretty much unmatched in the industry, especially now that they're getting all of like little whisker bumps and they're getting lots more of the veining. It's very, very accurate compared to other stuff. There is a little bit of challenge that they have when it comes to because it's two halves of a hole and it's not like a rotocast resin piece where you would put the mold in to a machine and it spins it and coats the inside. You're getting two halves that are cast separately and then joined together. So that can also sometimes cause widening challenges. We've seen that on some of the molds and some other distortions that you can't really get around very easily when you're producing something like that. But it's pretty cool to see how far they've come when you see some of the molding. I know some people get they'll get the newer version of older molds like a Marabella or because I think that was the most recent version that I saw. There's still some texture on the surface and the mold seam lines are a little harder. Maybe it's lost detail comparatively. So when you have an older mold and a newer mold and you're comparing them, it's very apparent to see how far they've come, which is very cool. So 75 years, long way. So Let the Good Times Roll is on the Show Jumping Warm Blood. Oh, it's not going to let me do that way, but it might let me. There we go. Very cool, loud buckskin, sooty buckskin leopard Appaloosa or semi-leopard Appaloosa. Very, very cool. It's got some really neat markings. And it kind of reminds me, I think, of how you don't see the really loud, crazy leopard Appaloosa patterns too often in horses. You'll see them sometimes, but they're more common in something like a mule because of how the genetics distorts the patterns. And something like Buckeye is kind of what it made me think of, I think, right away when I saw him, which is really cool because I like Buckeye's pattern. So that's coming out. He is glossy. Keep in mind for any of these runs that because it's their 75th anniversary and historically Breyer has done micro runs and tricky stuff when it comes to anniversaries. For their last one, they had all the superhero horses and they did micro runs of different colors, and we're probably going to see something like that. I would guess. I would put money on it, in fact. So we had Good Times Roll, and then there was this guy. So this is Ace Up Our Sleeve. Bar name's Ace. It's a limited edition based on a real Welsh pony called, I'm going to butcher this, Halcynoia Nightlife, I think. So it'll be a limited edition available to all Breyerfest ticket holders, whether you're joining in person or online. And a very, very well shown, well presented, does well in all of the things that they put him in, apparently. Black Welsh Section C colt. And he does have a half blue eye, which is why they featured it on the top here. He's 5-year-old now. His barn name is Ace. He is champion. Let's see. Driving, riding in 2023 and 24, he was the national champion for the Welsh Section C and D English Pleasure in dressage, won multiple blue and red ribbons, scoring 70%. Reserve champion 4-year-old Futurity and reserve champion stallion in the Open Sport Pony Show and 2024 or at the 2024 National Pony Dressage Pony Club. Very, very cute pony. He is very handsome. And my screen's letting me do the zoomy thing again, which makes me happy. So this is on Amelia's Welsh pony mold, Llewellyn. So we're seeing him as Riptide, Surfer's Riptide in regular run, which is very cool. And also, again, in black as a limited edition. So we're going to see lots of this mold this year, which is very cool because I really like it. I will probably be adding Surfer or Riptide to my collection, and I might need to make a Surfer dude to go along with him, but we'll see how it goes. This is the other side with his half blue eye. This is just a very cute mold. I quite enjoy him. So there's that. And then the last one, which they gave us a surprise one at the end of the week, which is kind of cool. I squealed a little bit. It's also glossy. Can't help myself. They have, so this article is featuring that in the 1990s, they used to host their first signing parties. They traveled to retailers across the country. Participants pre-registered to attend, and that included a meal, a talk, question and answer with company executives, and they gathered model horse people to do model horsey things. First Breyerfest was in 1990, hosted 1,000 people at the Kentucky Horse Park. So it's grown a lot because that's 1,000. What was 2024's attendance? So from 1,000 to, let's see. It's not telling me how many people. In 2024, 35,000 is what was quoted from Breyerfest organizers. So from 1,000 to 35,000 is a pretty big jump in not even a lot of years, because if we're looking at, it was 1990 when they had their first, why is this not letting me? There we go. 1990 when they had their first Breyerfest. So that's 20 some odd years ago. It's not that long. Looks like this event was a celebration of Breyer's 40th anniversary and featured Dr. Peaches, who would become known as the celebration horse. They had guest horses, artists, speakers, raffles, benefits, seminars, and live auction. It says the small hobby has evolved over 35 years and now features a yearly event theme, an exclusive special run and limited edition models, guest horses, live equine demonstrations, dozens of workshops, seminars, awesome activities at the horse park, stablemates painting, 4 model horse shows, an incredible artist showcase, and a breathtaking celebration of the horse show. It says, however, it would not have grown into the incredible weekend that we all know and love today without good times and good friends that we share it all with. And gets to be Tiger Lily and Firestorm, which is super cool. And I really like the colors. So it said, for the special run model reveal, we're over the moon, show off this gorgeous mare and full pair, good times, and great friends. They're created on the Cantering Mustang mare, otherwise known as Tiger Lily, and the Mustang foal, which is Firestorm, 820 and 827 by me, Raven Maddock. Our mare has been finished in a rich dapple bay with 3 white socks, and her foal sports an incredible light chestnut coat, both finished in stunning gloss. This adorable pair is only available in person, VIP, and all access. So it looks, there's some discrepancy on the wording here. Now, some people are saying VIP is only in person, and that all access technically could be online or in person. And I don't know if Breyer's clarified whether that just means that, or if it, so anybody online with all access tickets that can get special runs can get them, or if this is online only across the board. We don't know. I would probably lean more to it's online only across the board, because that, otherwise they wouldn't have specified in person specifically there. So we'll see. But they're very, very cute. So the gloss looks fantastic on her. And like I said, there might be micro runs. We might see them in matte. We might see them in other colors. This color looks really good on Firestorm too. I'm so excited. And gloss. We talked about gloss. It's so funny. We talked about gloss last week. And then they're like, we're just going to gloss them for her. So yeah, we should see more releases coming up on Monday, and then through the week. They have lots more runs to cover. We don't know what the theme is for their special surprise. We don't know a lot of what's going on. It's actually, we have lots of fun to go. Which would be kind of cool. Let's see. They would look good with Bolero. Somebody photoshopped them in with Bolero, and it looks really fun. Hi, Glenda. Welcome to the stream. High tide is odd. The way they did it won't strip. Huh. That's really interesting. I had no idea that that was the case. Did they just put modeling in the plastic or something? That's weird. You'll have to tell me more about that because I have one that I wanted to play with. So if it won't strip, that'll be interesting. So it has to be a newer version. Making nefarious plans. Yes, he's fun to play with. Tommy's saying, so far I need all three. It's a good year. They've got a lot of good stuff going on, which is kind of cool. Let's see, 35 years. Oh yeah, maths. I'm not good at the maths. It's okay. Let's see. VIP is in person only because it includes prepaid models and fast pickup. Yeah, I'm just not sure if that they specifically defining it means that it will be in person for all access as well, because they have had the Marin full set as in person last year. So, and maybe the year before. So we'll see. I'm sure they'll clarify. All access is online as well, I believe. Or all access is in person, and the online ticket is called a traditional ticket. Okay, so maybe it is in person only, which sucks for a lot of people. But you can usually find a pickup person, which would be helpful if you're looking for them. Caught by the odds. As I look at the dog that's sleeping in the background, he's very helpful to the energy level. But VIP and all access, yes. All in-person models have to be picked up in person. Won't be available online. Damn it. So yeah, they're online only, which sucks. But it is what it is. They have to make some special things. So there'll be special runs for online only as well. That's kind of how that works. Although it's a little bit cheating because online only you can order at the park like I did with our Blue Zeus last year. So yeah, that's the thing. Anyway, Marin Full last year was available online. So this is in person. So we'll see. I'll show you guys next week what Breyer comes up with in their Breyerfest blog. They are updating to the Breyerfest blog specifically, and then it's kind of scattered online. Some things are going up on the Breyer page, some are going up on the Breyerfest page, and it's a little more consistently to both now. But if you want to catch pretty much all of it, go to the Breyerfest blog on the site. So it's under, I'll show you. Most of you guys know this, but if you're new, you never know. Under events and Breyerfest blog is right there. And then it shows all the things. So yeah, it should be a fun year. I think that was all. Oh, we can go into that in a second. Yes. Okay. So yeah, that should be pretty much all of the stuff that they've updated recently. We'll see a whole bunch more over the coming weeks. This has kind of traditionally been their time to release stuff because tickets go live in February, which is only a few weeks away. We have a little bit of Khrysalis Studios updates. I'm getting the recent orders that were paid off for time payments for Bombas and for all the taters going out, hopefully within the next couple days here. If you've placed an order and you're waiting, you should be seeing your tracking number come through right away. Paid in full Bombas orders, working through those batches. I am on D and E are shipping. I gave some people extra time to pay because it was over the holidays. So all those orders should be going out right away because I believe they're all paid for. Batch F will be coming up right away here, and then it'll probably be pretty quick working through the last of these. So I sent out emails with estimated times as to what that would look like for everybody. So I think we should be done in February is what I was estimating out. So if you're looking to place an order for him or for Rise, the last week to do that is this week. So if you head over, I made that too big. My face is huge. I can share my Audible player with you guys, apparently. So the last week to order Bombas is this week. The last day is Wednesday, the 15th. So this will be the only version of him that you guys will get. is in this 1/16th weird scale because I just sculpted and I didn't scale, because why not? He's quite nice for scaling because he's big enough that you can do some really cool things with his color, but he is definitely not Venti. He is significantly larger than Venti. So, significantly. So yeah, if you want to add him to your herd, make sure you grab him by the 15th. You can still do time payments. You can add your name to the paid in full list, and you'll be shipping in around February, March, depending on when your order comes in. So all the information's there. You can click on what his information is, the pricing, the story behind him, time payment information, more pictures. You just click the button and it will automatically take you to that part of the site, which is kind of fun. And then he comes with his stickers, so he evolved from Little Bombus into, well, Little Bumblebutt into Big Bombus, which is kind of funny. And then he comes with his matte metallic sticker, and then the Glitter Be Different sticker, which I don't have on me. You can add him to cart here. The paid in full version says paid in full. It also has a little orange guy on it, and then time payments are in blue. And if for whatever reason you have issues or questions, just let me know. Send me an email. I am trying to get caught up on all of that. And then Rise is also available. He's the large unicorn medallion that I don't happen to have handy on me at this moment. But he's almost bigger than this guy. He's quite tall. I have all the measurements in there. He's huge. So yeah, that is a thing that is happening. And then club members get $15 off of Bombus, and they have a special price on the Rise if they want additionals because he is the anniversary medallion for this year. Or at least for people who signed up till June of last year. And then there'll be a new one for everybody from then on, which we haven't had any new members added. But for anybody whose anniversary swapped. Yeah, so there's that. I'll send out some emails and post reminders for everybody who's looking to add one to their collection, because that deadline is coming up fairly soon. What else do we got? I think we're on to the reveal of the thing. I don't think that there was anything else to cover. All our mail is still messed up, so I have stuff that's trickling in. Like I said, the Breyer box that I have with the stablemates is coming. I'll have some new stuff to show you guys in the near future. There was a special peek that went out with the Medallion Club boxes. Normally I have a little note. This time I had a little note, but it also had a little peek of something that's coming soon that isn't just for Medallion Club members. It's a new sculpture that you guys will be seeing in the near future. So they get first peeks because it's fun. And then I'll post it later once everybody's got their boxes. What else? I think that was it. I always try and think of all the things before I move on to the peaks because not everybody wants to be here for that. So my last update, I'll do my hyperfixation before we move on to the spoiler end of the show. So I got some vanilla beans that were trapped in the shipping queue of stuff. I did vanilla beans and extracted my own vanilla extract sometime last year. I ended up doing that for, I think it was 6 months because I was vacuum sealing it. Apparently you can speed up the process. You just take vanilla beans, cut them open. Some people scrape the seeds out, or the caviar, they call it, and put it into some sort of alcohol to extract. So I used vodka and it was good. It's good extract. I made a big bottle of it. It would have been like a lot of money worth of vanilla extract, and I use it quite often because I bake. And this time I ordered vanilla beans from a different supplier. They're lovely. I think they might be a little bit better quality, and then got some from Costco because I wasn't sure if the other ones were going to get returned because of the whole postal strike. But you can extract vanilla in different kinds of alcohol. I'm not a drinker, but rum generally has a better flavor than vodka. So I'm going to see what the difference is because when you use it in an extract, you're not going to taste really the alcohol much anyways, but it does alter the flavor a little bit. So I've used a rum, and then I also have one going in a Crown Royal salted caramel whiskey. So we'll see what that does to the flavor, because I'll be able to sample all three. How they tell you to sample it is by putting a little bit of the extract into a little glass of milk, and then you'll be able to tell the flavor from that, as it will alter whatever you're cooking with. So it'll be interesting to see. These ones probably, I've heard, will take, because of the flavoring in it, there's already some infusion into the alcohol. You need to leave it longer. So it might take 2 years, which is a long time to wait, but I can still try it in the meantime, and we'll see how it goes. I'm just fascinated with this whole process. It's the same way that you would do a herbal extract, is you can use a alcohol, or you can use a glycerin, which is a plant sugar. There's a whole bunch of different ways that you can do it, but those are the two main ones for people that want to avoid alcohol entirely. Vegetable glycerin is totally a possibility and works for a lot of people too. Just is sweeter. And then you can pull stuff out of things and make healing whatever out of it, or smelly whatever out of it. It's kind of cool. Or just pull nutrients and other things. I don't know. It's cool. My brain falls down weird rabbit holes, and it's kind of neat. So that's what I was up to this week. And you can do almond extracts. You can do anything you want to extract, pretty much, is just because it's preserved in the alcohol or the glycerin. And then you can do honey extracts. I did that with basil and cherry. And when I used the cherry honey to make my chocolate truffles, it was ridiculous, because it added the sweetness, plus it also added the flavor of the cherry, and it just was so good. Anyway, it's all sorts of fun things. I did use my pasta extruder as well. I didn't get the fancy dino one because I had ordered that from Italy. Maybe that'll come eventually. You can cut little dino shapes. And made rotini, or fusilli. I think it's fusilli, but I didn't realize you actually have to spin the noodles yourself. It doesn't extrude spinning. So that was a bit of a pain in the butt. And they were a little bit too noodly, like thick pasta-y, for the amount of sauce that I put in there. So I was expecting it to be a little bit more like a normal noodle, fusilli or rotini, and it wasn't quite. It was a little bit more doughy. So next time I'm going to try spaghetti, because I have a spaghetti extruding end, and that will give me round spaghettis instead of linguine, which is all the cutter can do. And fresh pasta is amazing. If you haven't done it, you can do it with just your hands and a knife. You don't need to have any special rolls. You can just roll it with a rolling pin. It is better in a pasta roller, because it will get it thin enough so that you can get a good noodle, because when it's too thick, it's just too doughy. It's not quite as nice. So I don't know. I started with a little hand roller, and the hand roller worked really, really well. But the one that goes in the KitchenAid, because it's not me having to do this and manage it with my hands, you almost need two hands. You would almost need another person to help for it to work out better. But super fun. So I enjoy that sort of thing. I was playing around with the different sauce combinations and trying to emulsify my sauces with added pasta water, which is kind of fun. So anyway, that's my little hyperfixation for the week. So on to the Medallion Club medallion. So this one is super cool. We can go through the peaks that I posted online, and then I'll talk a little bit about the story. If you don't want it to be ruined, run away now. I love you. Have a great week. But if you don't mind spoilers, then hang around for 3 seconds and we will be showing cool stuff. All right. So November, December Medallion Club box. First peak was an eyeball. I did post the blurred ones on social media, and then if you wanted the clear ones, you could come to the peaks page. So it's saying the eyes are the windows to the soul. What do you see? And a lot of people are saying, oh, it looks old. Looks like maybe a chunky draft. Detail. So every little detail adds to the story. The little droopy lip. You can kind of see all the wrinkles going on in the face. Might be an older horse. Peek through is movement. So life is constantly moving. A little shift can say so much. A little flow can make it come alive. So being able to add, this is kind of me waxing a little bit poetic about my process kind of coming for the year. I do a lot of work on feel, and when I sculpt, I try and add a lot of story into things, and that's going to be very apparent this year. So that is hair. But I was trying to be a little tricksy because I was like, will people know that this is not the same pony? Because peak 4 was connection. So special moment is better shared. So you see that this eye and this eye do not belong to the same horse. Surprise. And then the reveal was tender moments. So the timeless bond of a mother and a daughter. It doesn't have to be a mother and a daughter, but that was kind of what I was envisioning when I was making it. You don't often see our domestic horses stay with their parents. And so it was kind of a cool special moment for me to sculpt them. They weren't really done as any particular breed. It was more of a grade type situation. I wanted them to be a little bit flexible for what people were using for the breeds. Very cool piece. I quite enjoyed it. It was really fun to make the interaction between kind of the watchful daughter and then having the older mare, be a little bit kind of worn and tired and showing her age, but not to the point where she looked like she was too exhausted. Just kind of resting there and letting her daughter do her thing. It's very fun. And I've seen a lot of people post that they enjoyed it, so I'm excited. Amy's like, I love it. Aw. Glenda, I was close to Mother Old and Wise. I was close to Mother Old and Wise. She was old and wise. A lot of people are like, it's an old and wise something or other. So I'll just read this out. So tender moments and timeless bonds. Says, frozen in time, a tender moment between a mother and her daughter. The soft knickers and gentle nuzzles speak more than words could about their bond. These quiet moments are the essence of their connection. The mother's weariness is met with the watchful serenity of her daughter. A silent exchange of devotion that requires no words. The sculpture captures the timeless interplay of strength and tenderness, a reminder of the enduring legacy that flows between generations. There's something special about the moments spent with those we love, just being there with them, while the sands of time etch wrinkles into their faces and soften their eyes. Time is a funny thing, captured in these glimpses and stored in our hearts. It's supposed to be our hearts. Spelling mistake. As feelings, smells, sounds, and songs. They are carried with us somewhere deep and pop up to bring us right back there in an instant. I hope this special sculpture captures or touches your heart in the way it did mine. These bonds are timeless and strong. May we always remember and cherish those soft moments. So it can kind of be a bit of a bittersweet thing. I lost my grandmother, who I was probably the closest to out of all my family members, just 2 years ago. Well, about a year and a half, I guess, because she passed away in June. And those moments hit hard sometimes because she's gone, and there'll be little like grief, nostalgia, memory bombs that hit every once in a while when I'm doing something or going somewhere. And that I tried to put a lot into this medallion. It wasn't necessarily about loss specifically, but it's about that connection and those moments, and kind of being able to freeze the moment in time is a special thing that art can do. And I, like I've mentioned before, wanted to do a lot of story in my work for this year. So what better way to kick it off than a piece like this? So hopefully it kind of has a special place for a lot of you. I know a lot of club members are really excited to get it. And I'm sorry. Everybody has a thing during the holidays, and the holidays specifically can bring up some of these challenges. I know a lot of people have struggles celebrating the holidays because of losses or missed connections or things like that. And all of that is cathartic to work through, and this helped me. Hopefully it helps you. So yeah, that's the thing. And while I might not have had a very good connection with my own mother, I have a wonderful connection with my grandmother, and she was kind of like a mom anyways and raised me for a good chunk of my life. So yeah, it's something kind of fun. So something a little bit different, a little bit more oomph to a medallion versus just your standard piece that you would see. Because there's all different levels in art of one of the cool things about it is that it can reach in and grab emotions or hold different meanings to people depending on what it is. So a horse running wild and free, let's say a Mustang, has a certain feel to it. So something like Unbreakable has a different feel to it than a piece like this. And for everybody, there's different meaning that everybody brings to everything that they see. So I just enjoyed going a little bit deeper with this one. So hopefully you guys appreciate that too. And then I couldn't help myself. So I was playing around with painting a sample. And I really enjoyed the idea of an older flea-bitten mare and then the younger, darker gray daughter, because the colors alone speak a lot to that age difference, which is kind of cool. And they paint up really fun. That little droopy lip is wonderful. So it's quite big. It is like glasses. You could wear them as glasses, which would be kind of fun. And reasonably thick. The 2 ears are 3D, and then the rest is kind of not. It was a bit of a pain in the butt to mold because of how I molded it. I kind of put some snags in it. It's hard when you have two things coming together this way to try and get it unmolded because you have things that catch on both sides. So they were a bit of a pain to mold, but I think it was worth it. So I'm going to finish those up. You can see some of the flea bites in the mare. I was quite enjoying it. And then the unpainted, which the light is going to try and destroy. Yep. I don't know how to fix the lighting challenge. The pictures look better. Nope. It's kind of, sort of. But the eyes on them speak so much. There's so much softness to it. So I hope you guys, it's better to appreciate in the photos. You can see a little bit more of the detail here than with my silly in-person 3D-ness, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But they are quite fun. It's going to be really neat to see them painted up and what people choose to paint them up as, because there'll be people that will want to have them as real horses that they've had in the past. Some people breed, and then has its own special meaning to it, or have colors that you choose that are representative of some of your family members or yourself. I think that would be really fun too. It's kind of adds some more fun to it. So thank you guys. Amy says, my mom told me this year that she wants to go to Breyerfest with me next year. That's awesome. This is a woman who has repeatedly said to me, I don't ever want to go to Breyerfest and don't ask me, and never bought me a Breyer until last year. You've warmed her up slowly over time. That's wonderful. Sometimes it takes people a little bit of time to see past what they might perceive as the weirdness of the hobby and appreciate it for how we see it. It can be very healing. It can be very wonderful because you can connect with that creative part of yourself and explore the depths of horses and art and riding and tack and history and bloodlines. There's just so many rabbit holes that you can go down and appreciate. I think people seem to understand when you compare the model horse hobby to something like model trains a little bit more because they've seen that and they can appreciate it at a different level, maybe than model horses, because these seem like just toy horses, whereas the model trains, people have seen them get into all sorts of detail, which we do too, but it's just not as mainstream understood. So I don't know. Once people can see it how we see it, which is the joy in appreciating something through somebody else's eyes, that adds its own special magic. You might, like for me, I don't necessarily understand my husband Chris's love of his drag racing truck as much as he does, but I can see it through his eyes and see the joy that it brings him and appreciate it that way, just like he can the horses for me. So there's just a special magic in being able to connect over something like that, even if it's using you as the conduit to do that. Like Amy with your mom. Your mom's now able to see what joy it brings you, the creative expression you're able to have with all of your beautiful customs. And it's just something cool. So yeah, the hobby. Oh, happy joys. So I think without further ado, that would be the end of our show today. I will have some more cool stuff for you next week. And maybe I'll have Breyerbox for you for next week. We'll see how it goes. I did find something that I meant to give away a while back that has resurfaced in my land of stuff. So I will have to do some sort of giveaway at some point soon again. I've had some things that I've kind of been, I collect and store things up over time. So we'll see what form that takes, whether what kind of contest or giveaway, but it'll happen soon. And then if you wanted to get your hands on a Bombas or a Rise before that deadline, definitely do so before Wednesday. If you need a little bit of wiggle room, just let me know. Send me an email. We can probably work something out. So I know that the holidays is kind of hard, and I picked a little bit of a longer window, but I know people are still recovering from holidays. So let me know. I am usually reasonably flexible with things. So alrighty, I love you guys. I will see you soon. Hopefully we'll get to share more fun stories of pieces. Maybe I'll show you a little bit more of what popped up in that box for collector, all of my club members, so they could see the peak. And maybe I'll show that publicly because it's fun. All right, love you guys. We'll see you next time. Hopefully it's not too cold or on fire where you are. Praying for everybody who's in that